Number 10. Island of the Dolls. Island of the Dolls is so called because it is littered with hundreds of dolls tied to its trees, hung from branches and scattered along its floor. What makes this even more disturbing is that all of this was done by one man, a hermit named Julian Santana Barrera, who according to legend discovered the remains of a young girl who had drowned offshore. Julian found her doll floating in the water nearby, and in memory of her tied it to a tree. He then began to decorate the island with more dolls he found in the nearby canal, which he believed was appeasing the spirit of the dead girl. Julian died in 2001, with the prevailing theory behind his death being that he committed suicide after being driven insane. However, the Island of the Dolls is still accessible by boat. Number 9. Cabayan. Cabayan is a collection of man-made caves in the Philippines. Each cave is filled with mummies. Cabayan mummies are some of the best preserved on Earth, and Cabayan is overflowing with them. There are so many caves that it's easy to get lost among thousands of mummies that look spry enough to leap right out of their pods. Number 8. Aokigahara Forest. Aokigahara is Japan's suicide forest. Walk through it and you run serious risk of stumbling into a dead body. So many people have visited Aokigahara Forest that park rangers have put up signs that say, "Life is precious and think of your family." Park rangers still have to make regular trips into the forest to collect what bodies they can find. Sometimes, inquisitive tourists stumble upon the sites. Number 7. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia is a real-life Silent Hill. It was once a prosperous mining town, until miners accidentally set the mines beneath it on fire. The coal veins underneath Centralia have been on fire since 1962. Today, Centralia is abandoned except for the smoke that pours out of the cracks in the ground. But thrill-seekers still visit the ghost town. Number 6. Winchester Mystery House. The Winchester Mystery House in Northern California was constructed under the supervision of Sarah Winchester, who insisted upon around-the-clock development on the property. As such, the house is actually more of a huge winding mansion, filled with corridors that lead nowhere, staircases that seem to go upwards endlessly and other odd features. It is said that Sarah believed she was being haunted by the spirits of those who had been killed by Winchester rifles. Following her death, construction work on the property immediately stopped, and it is now a tourist attraction. Number 5. Pripyat. Evacuated a few days after the Chernobyl disaster, Pripyat was once home to 50,000 people, but now it stands completely abandoned. Hospitals, theme parks and playgrounds are desolate landmarks from a society forced to leave their lives behind them, and due to radiation it remained completely uninhabited for over 2 decades. However, the Ukrainian government has now begun to allow tourists to visit the city due to a decrease in the possibility of radiation poisoning. Number 4. Akodeshua. The Akodeshua fetish market may be the best place in the world to fall prey to a voodoo curse. This fetish market has all of the shrunken heads and mummified remains that the indigenous people of Togo need to practice their craft. But it's not all mummies and parts. There are bones, cauldrons and mysterious potions as well. Tourists have been officially advised to avoid Akodeshua when at all possible. Number 3. The Catacombs. The Catacombs of Paris, which opened in the late 18th century, have a reputation for being the world's largest grave, for in its underground caverns there are the skeletal remains of more than 6 million people. The space measures 11,000 square feet. Tourists have taken an interest in visiting the catacombs since the 19th century, when it was a privilege for more elite Parisian citizens. Today the ossuaries are open to the public, and tours are offered daily. Number 2. Hashima Island. In the past, Hashima Island was rich in coal, with over 5,000 miners once living on the island. When petrol replaced coal as Japan's main source of fuel, the settlement was left abandoned. Now the once thriving town is creepily abandoned, with only shadows remaining. Number 1. Hellingly Hospital. Hellingly Hospital in Ast, Sussex, England is a real-life insane asylum straight out of horror movie. It opened in 1903 and lobotomized and electrocuted its patients for 90 years until it was finally shut down. The building has been abandoned since 1994. Every year, a few photographers are brave enough to visit Hellingly Hospital.